Okay, so this is our presentation on Jimmy Carter. So I'm Alina Berger.
I'm Nuha Muhammad.
I'm Michael Walker.
And Ariana Ariano is not here with us today. So we'll start with section 1. So here's the picture we have. So what was Jimmy Carter's political background? Jimmy Carter had a political background as a Georgia state senator and later as the governor of Georgia before becoming the 39th president of the United States. What was his campaign slogan? Carter's campaign slogan was "A leader for a change." What was the Peanut Brigade? The Peanut Brigade was a group of Jimmy Carter's friends, family, and supporters from Georgia who campaigned for him across the country during the 1976 presidential election. What did Carter mean by an open government? By open government, Carter meant a transparent, honest, and accountable administration that kept the public informed and in the democratic process.
Okay. Section 2.
Can you lift the camera? Maybe they can see it like that. Okay. Human 2.
Section 2.
Human rights around the world. What did Carter pledge to the Soviet Union in 1977?
In 1977, President Jimmy Carter pledged to reduce nuclear arms and pursue the arms control negotiations with the Soviet Union.
There's 3 places where he worked to improve human rights. Number 1 was Latin America, South Korea, and then the Soviet Union. Who visited the White House in October 1979 and why? In October 1979, Pope John Paul II visited the White House to discuss global peace, human rights, and moral issues with President Jimmy Carter. What did Mrs. Carter do in November 1979? In November 1979, Mrs. Rosalind Carter traveled to refugee camps in Thailand to highlight the plight of Cambodian refugees and advocate for humanitarian aid.
Okay, so next we'll be looking at section 3. So, which 2 countries were involved? And this is regarding the Camp David treaties. So the 2 countries that were involved is Israel and Egypt. And this is a picture of the 2 countries. And next question was, where were the cards signed? The cards were signed in September 17th, 1978. And the third question, why was the treaty important? So the treaty marked a historic peace agreement between Israel and Egypt, who had long been fighting, and also showed the influence of the United States. Oh, okay. So section 4.
Section 4, Protecting America's Future. The energy plan submitted by President Carter to the Congress contains more than 100 independent proposals aimed at reducing consumption of petroleum, converting from oil and natural gas to coal as an energy source, and increasing domestic supplies of energy. In August 1977, Carter proposed a major jobs program for welfare recipients capable of working and a decent income to those who were incapable of working. Carter was unable to win support for his welfare reform proposals, but they never received a vote in Congress. His administration helped establish the Superfund program in 1980, which funded the cleanup of hazardous waste sites. Jimmy Carter funded programs in order to expand the access to education for more people, like the Inadequate Program for Education in Georgia.
So as you see, there's a book here, which is The Future by Jimmy Carter.
Doesn't actually exist.
No, it's a real book.
Which
It doesn't
is because
exist.
of his attempt to help expand the access to education. So we put a book. So now, section 5.
Section 5, the Iran hostage crisis. On October 22nd, President Jimmy Carter had allowed Iran's deposed leader Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi admission to the United States to receive medical treatment for cancer. The students saw Carter's decision as evidence of U.S. intent to undermine the populist revolution that had ousted the Shah earlier that year. Carter ordered the U.S. military to attempt a rescue mission, Operation Eagle Claw, using warships that included USS Nimitz and USS Coral Sea, which were patrolling the waters near Iran. On April 23, 1980, rail, releases only suspect in a $4 million diamond robbery. People saw Jimmy Carter as having weak leadership skills, media attention and public frustration, a failed rescue mission, and it boosted Reagan's fame.
And as you see, there's
This
a
is a
door
door.
that says, "Welcome back to freedom." And that was our poster on Jimmy Carter.